everyone, it's Caroline here from Aussie Cards and Crafts, and today I'd like to bring you a very, very special card. I'm calling it the, what can I call it? It actually was designed by a lady, the name of Sarah Trabilko, and I've done a couple of her cards before, and they really are superb. Sarah did this one and she called it, I think, Floating Butterflies. I'm going to call this one Floating Garden, I think, because as you'll see when I open it, it's got butterflies and flowers in it. So what it does is, as you open it up, it shows you a beautiful, beautiful array, in this case, of flowers and butterflies. I've got my part that I can actually write my greeting over there, and it just is so beautiful. And then of course it all folds down flat and it goes into a 5x7 envelope. There's a little bit of dimension there, but really and truly it's it really is a beautiful card. I will link Sarah's video to this because she is the designer and she did a superb job. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this video. It really is quite special, so I will go straight ahead and show you how we make this card. So let's get started. As you can see, this morning when I got up, I did do myself a prototype just to make sure that it would fold flat like the other one does. I made a few mistakes with this and it's not finished and I didn't colour any. But it gave me the idea of how to do it. Yeah, it's not hard to do. You've just got to keep checking. And Sarah says this in her tutorial as well. You just need to keep checking to make sure that it is folding flat. And you'll see that as I go through. A few things, I'm going to be using that today as my guide. A few things that I used on this particular one that we're doing today. I've already done, obviously the centre's not in there, but I've already done my sentiment and my my paper around the back, and I'll show you where that's from in a moment. I'm also going to put some butterflies and possibly some flowers on this as well, but I don't want to do that until I finish the cards, so that will be done beforehand. This frame just here has come from this particular 7 Paper Dolls die. I cut it out there, then I realized that it wasn't cutting on the inside, so I just used a circle die and cut out the center. I then put cut another piece the same size in black and use the heat embossing on there. So that is the start of my card base. I also use this one, what is it? It's a penny black, Words of Kindness, a special birthday wishes for that one. The paper that I used here has actually come from this particular Paper Craft Society, where is it? Box 27, the Frugal Crafter. There we go, just there. And these are great, these ones, and the paper was one of her papers from there. Also one of the where are we, one of the butterflies that I did, and I'll just go through those with you in a moment, was also one of hers. The other ones that I used were from another Paper Craft Society box, and it was box number 15 by Linda Parker. And as you can see, I have done quite a few. I've done this little butterfly just here, I've done this one, I've done the flowers, I've done that flower, I've done that flower, I even did the bumblebee. So there was a lot that I could actually use from this particular stamp set. I didn't use the dies to cut them out, but they do have a lot of the dies there that you can. I actually did do them by hand, and I coloured them with alcohol markers. So let's pop that one away. Now what you will need is, it is a 5x7 card. So what you will need is a card blank. Now this is where mine does alter a little bit from Sarah Trabilko's. Sarah did an A4 sheet that she folded over and showed us that way, but she did say you could do it on the 5x7. I prefer either a 6x6 or a 5x7, so I have done it on the 5x7, and as you can see, my prototype was also a 5x7. So you need a piece of card that is 10 inches across there, 7 inches down there, and scored at 5 inches down the center, and then fold it over. And once again, the layer, the paper pattern there is then 4 3/4 inches across there and 6 3/4 inches there. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that aside for the time being. The other piece that you need is a piece of card that is going to measure 6 inches, so 6 inches across there by 2.5 inches down here. And I'll grab my scoreboard, and there is some scoring to do on this one. So let's pop that up there. So here we go. 6 inches across there, you need to score at 1.5 inches, 3 inches, and 4.5 inches. Turn it around the other way, and then you need to score at 1/2 inch all the way down. Okay. Next, what you need to do is you need to fold and concertina those. Okay, so it doesn't matter really which way, but it's going to look like an M or a W if you want. I'll take that away, and I use my burnishing tool just to make sure that all of those are burnished well. Okay, now if you fold it in half, you can do this, and this is one thing that Sarah did as well. You can actually do this in one hit. So where you've got that score line at 1/2 inch, you cut down from the center. Okay, so there's two open ends there. So you cut down from the center to that first score line, cut across, because this is going to be a tab, and then cut across there. So you're cutting that out completely. Then you can fold these either way to actually, you don't need to fold them at the moment, but you can then fold them to create your tabs that are going to stick on your card. Now along the top line, and this is where I've done mine a little bit differently to what Sarah has, I have measured, now where's my pencil? I have measured to the center of each of these sections. So that's, if I'm going from the 1 inch mark, I'm going to put a mark at 3/4 inch. In fact, I'm going to do it on the scoreboard because it's easier for me to see, being black and my bad eyesight. So if I pop this right up against there, so you need to measure at 3/4 inch, 2 1/4 inches, 3 3/4 inches, and 5 1/4 inches, and just put a little mark, just a little pencil mark. The next thing you need to do is you need to get your ruler, and not where your tabs are, but from this side, measure in 3/4 inch. Okay, just pop a little mark there, and do that on all of the folds. Okay, so there, 3/4 inch in on that score line, and the last one, well, it's not actually, that one, 3/4 inch, and right down here you also need 3/4 inch in and a mark to be put there. What you then need to do is getting your scoring tool, and I'm going to see if I've got another one there, because it might come out a little bit better. Let's see if I've got it. No, I can't see it at the moment. That's okay. We'll use this one. So from that mark on the side to the mark, or the mark at 3/4 inch to this one just here, right across there, you then need to make a score line. So a diagonal score line like so. Moving it around, you then go to this one here, which is at 3/4 inch, to that one there. So once again, you score it. Moving it around, you go zigzagging across the page. I've done it all already, so I don't really need to do it again. So you will end up with a zigzag, 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 zigzag. Okay. Now you can fold these. Doesn't matter which way you fold them. I'm going to fold them in, and they are going to be the tabs that it sits on. With these ones, the first corner one, you need to fold it over. And because it's 3/4 of an inch both ways, it should be square, and just use your burnishing tool. The next one is going to be, now this is where I'm going to make sure that I get it right. Bring this forward, because this is the trickier part. So you're going to make both of these two, this V here a valley fold, and this particular one going down a mountain fold. Okay, so you're going to bring it in like so, and bring that one in like so, and no, it should be the other way around. Sorry about that. So you're going to make this a mountain, that a mountain, and the other one a valley. That's it. Like so. And then once you've done that, once again, use your burnishing tool. Make sure that your folds are nice and crisp. The next one in, which is this V just here, is going to be the opposite. So this is going to stay a mountain, and these two are going to become valleys. So once again, you do the same thing. You just nudge it in. And then use your scoring tool to bring it over. Okay. The last one here is going to be the same as this first one here. So that one is going to be a valley, and these are going to be mountains. So once again, nudge them in first. When Sarah did it, she just folded them down, whereas I do find it much easier and much cleaner if I've got something to work with first. And I'll show you. I don't know whether you can actually see it, but I will try and show you in a moment. So there's that one. And then the last one on this side, once again, is just going to be folded over. Okay, so that's how it's going to stand. Okay, now that's going to be the inside of the card, so that's going to be this part here. If you can, I don't know whether you can actually see it or not, but it didn't actually fold, and this is thinner card than that, so it didn't actually fold that well without a little bit of, like, just folding it over without scoring it first. So I decided that scoring was the way to go. Okay, now let's leave this up, because I will need to go by that. Now, the way to do this is not to put it in the card first. It's much easier to decorate and pop your things on here if you're doing it out of the card. There will come a time when you will need to put it in the card, and at that stage, whoops, I'm just thinking, I think I have done that wrong. That's got to be that way. No, that's right. Yep. So those need to go to the back, because this center one here needs to be facing me. So it needs to be to the front. So let's just use my burnishing tool once again, so that that's nice and flat. So that's how it's going to be. You've got your two corners pointing away. Right, next. Now, you might notice on this one, you can probably see some marks there where it says large, small, and the direction that it's going. And that I did from her video. I have linked her video, but I will link it a couple of times, because she has designed this, and I think she deserves all the credit for it. So what we need to do is we now need to start decorating it. Now, I'm using, whereas I used white strips there, I'm actually using acetate strips for this one. And I've got two sizes here. Now, I might need to cut some of them down. One of them is 2 inches. The other one is 1.5 inches. So what I have done is I have put the, as you can see here, I've got the acetate, and you can see I've put the tape top and bottom, and all I do is I actually, if I want another one, I don't actually do it on my cutting board. I just cut it about 1/4 inch. That way you've already got your sticky on. You haven't got to mess around with tiny little pieces. So to get started, what we now need to do, we're going to start with putting some from this end. Now I'm going to obviously work with my cheat sheet here as well. So I'm going to use 2 of the shorter strips, and I am going to put one of them, just take the sticky off, and I want that one on this side just here, just there, and okay, so that's better. So now I've got a piece of tape that side, flip it over and put the tape the other side, so that there's no tape on this side and no tape underneath there, and both of those. So as I need them, I'll just cut them up, and we can go from there. So bringing this in again, I've got the little one there, so I'm going to do another little one. I'm calling it little. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller, but it doesn't really matter. So I'll just cut 1/4 inch of this, and just taking that off, putting it around about the same spot. Okay. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bigger piece. So I'm going to use 2 pieces here. And they are going to go pretty much like so. Okay, so you can still see the red on them there. Okay, so there's another one there. The other one is just here. So once again, okay, so I'm hoping you can see those. Okay. Next, and as you can see, it concertinas up, so you can start to see, if you can imagine, the flowers and everything else on there. So there's that one. The next one that I want to do, oh, there was one other piece that we do have, which I didn't tell you about, and it is a piece that is 6 inches long, 6.5 inches long. It's scored at 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 3.25 inches, 3.5 inches, and I'll just check the last measurement, 5 inches. And this one will be used in the center here, but basically what you do with this is you fold it over with these little ones. Okay, so it's going to be like that, and that's going to go in the center, but I'll talk about this more in a moment. But what you need to do, that's to give us more things. So that is 6.5 inches, and it is scored at 1.5 inches. Let me just double check this. Yes, 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 3.25 inches, 3.5 inches, and 5 inches. So it's like a W with a little M at the top. That's how it will be. I'll just pop that up there for the time being. Next, we need to do, and I'm going to bring this in again. We've done those 2. Next, we are going to do the 2 at the back here. So from there and there. Okay, so the closest triangles to the ones you've actually put on, and I'm going to use bigger ones for this as well. Now we now start working on the centerpieces. So firstly, what you need to do. Now, the other thing that you can do is decorate this down here. Now, I don't know where I want all my decorations. As you can see, I have a myriad of different things that I've actually cut out. It took me, I think, 4 episodes of reruns of Doc Martin to actually have all of these coloured and cut out, but never mind, that's all part of it. So in the centre, sorry, what I was actually saying is I will probably pop some flowers down here to actually give more of a, just to make it look prettier. And as you can see, I've got a myriad of colours there too. So going back to the centre again, if you have a look at this one, that is my centrepiece just here that I just showed you. We now need to put 2 of the longer ones and 2 of the longer ones at the front as well. So what I need to do is I need another one of these, which I have one here. I think that's a longer one. Let me just double check. Yes. Okay. Now the centre does tend to get a bit full because it has quite a bit coming off of it. So if you want to take it to more to the edge, that probably would be a good idea. So I'm going to put one there and one here. And then I'm going to use, pop another one. Can't get the red off. There we go. I want one coming down like so, making sure that it doesn't go over this crease. Okay, so as you can see, that's what we've got so far. So as you fold it up, it all folds fine. And then the last one for the moment is going to be, let's grab a piece from here. And that's going to come from the center too. So that's going to be just there. Now what we need to do is we need to use this piece here. And what it actually is going to do is that is going to be, if you can actually see how it's going to work, it's going to be like so. So you're going to have 2 more stems there. You can put a big flower or big butterfly or whatever you want on there, and another one there. But this is actually going to go like so, and it is going to be stuck in here. And then it will open up and it will give us some even more stems to put flowers on. Okay, you could do this with acetate, but I think black on black, I think it's going to be fine. So what we need to do is we need to put a little bit of tape. So there you've got your M now with a W in the center. And what we now need to do is put where these fold on the outside just a tiny little bit. You've only got probably about 3/8 of an inch just on each side of those. So we pop it on there. And once again, the other side. These are sharper. Okay, take the backing tape off. So if you actually have a look, you've got your W there. So we've put the tape that side and that side. So take the backing tape off. If you can get it off, there we go. And this is where you now need to pop this in here and squeeze it together. Okay, and there you see we've now got 2 more. You could have done it in acetate. I didn't even think to do it in acetate, but we can cover the black up, and it's going to be black on black anyway, so I don't think it's going to matter too much. Okay, now what we can start doing is start doing our decorations. Okay, we've got some of the stems up there. We will do more, but for the time being, that's what we need. And as you can see, as I said, it took me a long while to do it, but it is a really great therapeutic way of spending the afternoon. The key to this is to make sure that every piece that you put on, you then make sure that it will fold up, okay, because it's got to fold flat within the card. So every piece that you put on, really, you must be very, very careful and very mindful of that. Now, what am I going to put on? Let me have a little look here. I'm going to put, I think, a sunflower just here. So I will take off that, and I'll put my little flower there. I will then have a different one just there. So once again, this is where it's really handy always to have the tape on, if you can get the backing tape off. I'm used to having long nails, and they're quite short at the moment. So, and once again, I'm just going to pop him on there. Once again, fold it up. You can see that there's nothing there at the moment. There's no problems with anything being in the wrong spot. Now, what I will probably do, and this is what I was thinking, is I will probably have some, I probably would do it the other way, but anyway, I will have butterflies that are coming in on those flowers, and that is my thought that I'm thinking at the moment. So it might change. Who knows? Next, I'm going to put some flowers, I think, on this one. So I'm going to fold it up. And if you actually see, I'm going to actually use a smaller flower, I think. And the reason being is that where am I? What can I use? You've just got to be careful that you don't put things over. I might put a butterfly, I think. So when it falls flat, it's not going to impede. So I'm going to pop a butterfly this side. And that goes just there. Okay. Next, I'm going to, see now we've got, oh no, that should be all right. What I might do is just want to make sure that nothing's catching. So I've popped that one there. I'm going to put something on this side now. And I think I might put another butterfly, but a different colour. Whoopsies. So that's okay. Okay, so there we go. We've got the start of it. I'm still not convinced that it's not going to catch when it's in the in there, but we will persevere. We might need to move a few things once the card goes together, but we can do that. That's not an issue. As you can see, it does fold down flat. What we now need to do, excuse me, is I would like to put a nice big flower, I think, in the center here. I'm not sure what style I'd like though. So let me just have a little look, and I'll have another little play around and see how we go. Okay. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to fold this one pretty much in half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that in that little M at the top there, so that it's going to fold as the card folds. So I, excuse me, I will burnish that just a little bit. Obviously it's not symmetrical, so it's not going to be exactly correct. But what I will do is pop some tape in the center, if I can find the end of it, there we go, and just on this piece here, just right at the end. So, and then pop my flower, my folded flower, into the fold there. And then, as you can see, when you fold your, I'm not sure about these ones here, I might need to move that around. Let's have a look. And as you can see, there you go, it opens up. The more you open it up, the better it's going to be. So, and as you fold it down, now I need just to work these to make sure that they're not. So occasionally you just need to move them, and you just need to work with what you're doing to make sure that nothing is catching, so that it actually does fold. And I think that will be all right once it gets into the card. What I'm going to do now is I am going to put some butterflies and flowers down the bottom just here on those 4 little panels, okay? Because the more flowers you can see, the better it is. So I'm going to, they're too big. Let me have a little look. What have I got here? When you're putting these on, whatever you do, they can go outside of there, but they don't go across these folds in here. So if I put one there, yep, that's going to work. Okay, so as you can see, I'll just try and move everything away. There's the fold. So if I put it up to that fold, it doesn't matter if it hangs over. If it hangs down here, you can just cut it off. That's not an issue. So I'm going to put one there. I'll put another one the other side, and I'll do something in here. So I'll keep moving ahead with this. Okay, so I've stuck those 2 on, but the glue is, yeah, I put too much glue on there, so I'm not going to fold it together at the moment, because it will actually stick together, and I really don't want that. But what I can do from now is I can now, before I even put it in there, I think I can probably start decorating the, although you can't see them that much, I'm still concerned about that one. Have a little look. I can't really put it together. Might switch off and wait till they dry. Okay, so that's now dry. As you can see, I'm still having a little bit of trouble with that. So I'm going to put it into the card and show you how to do that, and then I will finish it off with some more decoration. In fact, before I do that, I will put some more flowers or butterflies or something down there. I think I might put flowers. Okay, so now let me show you how to put it in the card. Okay, so the important part is that this center fold here matches that center fold there. Okay, so if you sit it down there, it's going to have to, if you look at this one, it's further down, and that's because all of these butterflies sit up higher. Okay, so it's got to come down probably roughly just under half. But that center fold must match there. So the way you do it is, what I like to do is work out how you want it to sit first. Let me just bring it further up. If you want it to stand out more, you stretch it out more. If you want it together more, you put it together more. Once you've got it to the spot that you want, leave your finger down on that tab there. Okay, so that one there, leave your finger down, fold it up and fold it over, and then fold this tab up as well. Okay, so you've got all of it there. This is the time that you check to see. Now you can see that we've got the flower that's over there and the flower that's over there. So what we then need to do is we need to bring it in a little and down a little. Okay, so we can have it, in fact I would like it down a bit further. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to make sure that my finger's down there and that I've got my center part. So I'm going, it's probably a little bit too rough with it. I'll fix that in a minute. So the center part first, where you want it, oopsies, hold that tab down, fold your card in, fold the other tab over. Okay, that one, and this is where I find that this one is not in the right spot, so I'm going to lift him up and put him there. What I now need to do is I'm going to fold that single tab there over, because I want to glue this. So I'm going to glue that tab. I'm going to run my finger across it too, because that should actually help. Only on that tab, make sure there's no glue anywhere else. Fold the front over and hold it. Okay, now you can see that even with that, there is still a little bit sticking out there. So I'm going to do a cheeky and just slide it over so that it's not hanging out. Okay, next, you just pop some glue on this one and then fold this one over. And there we go. There it is. So it closes nicely, it opens nicely. Now what we need to do is we now need to really decorate it. Once these are really stuck down, we can then go ahead and we can do a lot more decoration around the whole thing. Where our tabs are, we can put butterflies over that. We can put butterflies on butterflies. These two can probably, just looking at it, yep, these two can be stuck together because they're not going to, it's not going to affect, so it'll give it a little bit more stability. So we'll stick those two there, making sure that the glue doesn't go too far. And then what we need to do is we can use all of the other bits and pieces. I'm going to have some flowers down here. I'm going to have some more flowers up there. I'm going to have probably a sentiment in here. So when you see the card at the beginning of the video, it probably will have. I might tear a piece of white down like so and put my sentiment there so that you can just write on that. And probably have it heat embossed on the edge and also the heat embossed thing. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to decorate this, and you'll see that I'm going to pop struts that we've got, I'm going to put some more some other things on there just to hide them and give us a myriad of colour as you open it up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will come back to you. So here we go. I did switch the camera off because I did do some of the decoration off screen because it does take quite some time. As you can see, I have put some of the butterflies and flower on my front, and then when you open it up, you get this beautiful cascade of flowers and butterflies and bees and all kinds of things. I did take a piece of white card, I ripped it down one side, and then I heat embossed the message, and then I heat embossed all the way around the outside and all on the jagged edge as well. I have put butterflies in on some of these struts here just to hide the mechanism. As you can see, I don't have much left. I might put another one just there, I don't know. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with it. I hope you are too. I hope you give it a go. It's not difficult to put together. The hardest part and the longest part is actually doing all of these to yeah, it just does take a long time to cut, colour, etc, etc, but it's all worth it. It's not something that you would do for every single card you do. You wouldn't spend this much time, but I'm very, very happy with it, and I hope the person that I give it to, and I'm not sure who it's going to be yet, but I hope the person who I give it to will be happy as well. I might put that one just there. Please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. That really does help us YouTubers. I would like to once again thank Sarah Trabilko for such a wonderful design. She did say it was her design, so I'm more than happy to give her all the credit because she really, you know, I don't think I would have come up with something like this, but I did see it on her channel and I thought to myself, wow, that is stunning. I need to try that one. So it has taken me a long time to do it. I'm not going to lie, but I'm really happy with it. So I hope you give it a try. If you do, please go over onto our Facebook page at Aussie Cards and Crafts and let us see what you've done. I'm actually thinking of doing one with Christmas decorations, or not Christmas decorations, sorry, Christmas presents. So the struts will all be Christmas presents, and maybe having Santa going through at the back. I've got a baby due, not me, but my daughter has got a baby due soon, and I'm thinking of maybe doing dummies, getting some other ones of these and making some dummies and It's a Boy, that type of thing on the struts as well. So there's lots and lots and lots of things that you can do. Don't just keep it to butterflies and flowers. You can do whatever you want. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry it's been so long, but obviously, as you can see, there's quite a few things to do. And until next time, happy crafting.